Benny Blanco looks like he's at the edge of his patience. What should be the happiest time of his life, planning his wedding with Selena Gomez, has turned into a storm he never saw coming. Instead of joy and excitement, there's nonstop chaos. Selena's team is running around in circles, changing plans almost daily, and nothing seems to settle. One moment she wants a fairy tale-style wedding. The next, she's scrapping ideas she swore she loved just a week ago. On the outside, it's meant to be a magical Hollywood celebration. Behind the scenes, though, it's messy, filled with pressure, arguments, and stress so thick that even big-name celebrities are standing back, curious to see how this spectacle will unfold. People who are close to her admit it's becoming impossible to keep up. Weddings are stressful enough for ordinary couples, but when you're Selena Gomez, every detail turns into a massive production. From the type of flowers to the seating chart, nothing is small. And it's not just about getting it right. It's about getting it perfect. Here's the thing. I like Selena, but being near her during this planning stage sounds exhausting. Sources close to her say her perfectionism has everyone walking on eggshells. A flower arrangement that's slightly off color or decorations that don't match her vision can trigger a meltdown. She's so focused on making everything flawless that even the tiniest details, things most guests wouldn't even notice, are being treated like life or death decisions. Her staff, stretched thin and worn out, feels like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. The wedding is planned for September in Montecito, California, but the atmosphere is anything but celebratory. Instead of excitement building up, what people are feeling is panic. Selena wants her wedding to look magical, luxurious, and unforgettable, but her constant back-and-forth decisions are making it impossible to lock anything in. Simple choices turn into heated debates. She second-guesses herself constantly. The dream wedding is starting to feel more like a nightmare. One moment in particular made fans question how she's really feeling about all of this. During a recent therapy session that was recorded, someone asked Selena if she was excited about her big day. You'd expect a bride to light up at a question like that, but her response didn't sound thrilled at all. She gave an answer so flat that people are now wondering if she's actually happy, or if this whole wedding is more about control than love. And the drama doesn't stop with the planning. The guest list is its own battlefield. Selena is inviting some of the biggest names in entertainment, which creates non-stop complications with security, privacy, and logistics. Imagine organizing an event where Taylor Swift, Travis Scott, Jennifer Aniston, Cara Delevingne, Miley Cyrus, Steve Martin, and Martin Short are all under one roof. That's a powder keg of personalities. On top of that, there are whispers that Meryl Streep could show up too, which only raises the stakes. If she's really attending, the pressure to pull off something spectacular only gets heavier. But there's another problem. Selena hasn't chosen her bridesmaids or maid of honor yet. She's scared that naming one person will upset someone else. And in Hollywood, friendships can turn sour fast over things like this. Fans are already speculating who might make the cut. But the reality is, whoever gets left out could feel hurt. Something that small could easily turn into a major headline about broken friendships. The wedding dress situation hasn't been much smoother. With Selena's busy schedule, finding time for fittings has been nearly impossible. She's juggling her career, her businesses, and now this massive wedding production. The result? A bride who feels like she's losing control. Insiders say she's nervous to the point of being physically drained, and her constant need for perfection isn't just burning her out, it's burning out her entire team. Of course, fans can't stop asking the big question: will Taylor Swift be the maid of honor? On paper, it sounds perfect. Two best friends supporting each other on the biggest day of one of their lives. But in reality, it's complicated. Taylor's album drops on October 3rd, just days after the planned wedding. That kind of schedule leaves almost no breathing room. Some fans are already comparing it to the time Rihanna didn't become Katy Perry's maid of honor because of her career demands. If Taylor backs out, people will be talking about it for months. Then, something else stirred the pot even more. A few days ago, paparazzi spotted Selena at an airport. Reporter Melanie Miller asked her what advice she would give to women in their 30s who were still single. Selena smiled, brushed it off, and said, "We can do this later," before walking away. At first, it looked like nothing, but fans quickly started analyzing it, linking it to her own age. Since she's just entered her 30s, people are wondering if part of her wedding stress comes from that unspoken pressure women often feel about marriage and starting a family. Even with the stress, Selena is determined to pull this off. She keeps talking about having the perfect 3-day wedding, a celebration so big, so glamorous, and so memorable that people will be talking about it for years. The problem is, the way things are heading, it feels less like a fairy tale and more like a dangerous balancing act, where one slip could lead to total disaster. Hosting Hollywood's elite for 3 full days is a task that could overwhelm anyone. But Selena, with the financial power of her beauty brand behind her, is set on making it happen. Insiders describe this wedding not just as a ceremony, but as a full-blown production. Think about 3 days filled with extravagant parties, luxury dinners, music, and endless glamour. Something you'd expect from the richest people in the world. She's hired professional planners and a large staff to pull it off. But that hasn't stopped her from overseeing every single detail herself. Flowers, music, colors, themes. Nothing escapes her attention. And because she changes her mind constantly, her team is pushed closer and closer to exhaustion. One person who's been around her summed it up perfectly. "I've never seen someone sound so confident about what they want, but look so lost at the same time." That statement says it all. Thankfully, Benny Blanco seems to be the calming force in this storm. While Selena panics, Benny tries to ground her, reminding her that not everything has to be perfect. He's the one massaging her shoulders, encouraging her to relax, and gently telling her to trust the team. He doesn't raise his voice, doesn't argue. He just tries to soothe her, because anyone who knows Selena understands that fighting with her would only make things worse. He's doing his best to keep the peace, but even he must feel the weight of this pressure. This isn't just normal wedding stress, it's something far bigger, and everyone can see it. This is where the speculation gets even deeper. Everyone knows what usually comes after marriage. The big question about kids. For Selena, that thought has been circling in her mind non-stop. She's been honest for years about her battle with lupus and how it affects her health. Because of that, the idea of starting a family isn't just a normal decision. It comes with risks. And that's making the pressure she feels even heavier. Insiders say Benny Blanco has been bringing up their future often, especially the idea of having children together. He's even said, in his words, that he thinks their kids would be so cute. On the surface, that sounds sweet and harmless, the kind of thing any partner would say. But for Selena, it's become one of the biggest triggers of her anxiety. Fans are now asking the difficult question: is Selena secretly worried that she won't be able to give Benny the family he dreams of? That thought alone is haunting her. And instead of enjoying this moment in her life, she's trapped in a storm of what-ifs. To the outside world, people are focused on the glamorous parts of her wedding. The designer dress, the guest list full of celebrities, the beautiful California location. But behind the glitz, Selena is wrestling with something far more serious: her health, her future, and the fear that she might never be able to live up to the picture-perfect version of life that everyone expects from her. Benny himself recently stirred things up even more during an interview. He opened up about how much he's been thinking about becoming a dad. He said he prays about it, dreams about it, and even described how amazing their kids would be. He painted this heartwarming picture of Selena as a mother, saying he believes she'd be incredible at it. Fans thought his words were adorable, but for Selena, hearing that hit her in a painful place. People close to her say she's deeply afraid she won't be able to give him that dream. It's not that she doesn't want children. She does. But her fear of not being able to carry a pregnancy is eating away at her. That thought alone makes her worry it could one day put strain on their relationship, no matter how strong their love is now. And this isn't just some celebrity headline. It's something many women face. The mix of hope, pressure, and fear around motherhood can weigh down anyone. But in Selena's case, with her health battles and public scrutiny, the weight is multiplied. Let's not forget everything she's already endured. This is someone who has fought lupus, undergone a kidney transplant, and openly spoken about her bipolar disorder. That's an overwhelming list of struggles for anyone. But imagine carrying all of that while living in the public eye. Fans didn't fully grasp just how much she was dealing with until recently, and it suddenly explains a lot about the stress surrounding her. Doctors have apparently warned her that some of her medications could make pregnancy risky, even dangerous. Of course, adoption is an option, one she's mentioned positively in the past. Her own mother, Mandy, was adopted, and Selena has always described that experience as something beautiful. But adoption wasn't how she imagined her path to motherhood. Like many people, she had a vision of carrying her own children, and facing the reality that it might not be possible has shaken her deeply. Benny, for his part, has been trying to comfort her. He's reportedly told her over and over that she's enough, that she doesn't need to give him children to prove anything, and that her value doesn't come from her ability to become a mom. While his reassurances mean a lot, Selena reportedly still feels inadequate inside. And that's the heartbreaking part. Here's a woman who has achieved everything: global fame, a massive fortune, an empire spanning music, acting, and beauty. But one thing she can't control makes her feel like she's not enough. Money can buy houses, vacations, even entire companies, but it can't erase health struggles. As if the pressure wasn't already high, things got even more complicated when Selena and Benny attended another wedding. The internet went wild the moment they were spotted together, with many fans mistakenly thinking it was their own ceremony. Even SCA admitted she panicked, leaving a comment saying she thought she had somehow missed Selena's big day. But no, it wasn't their wedding. They were actually attending the wedding of Benny's friend Dave. What happened there, though, created fresh drama. During the event, Benny grabbed the microphone to give a speech. Instead of keeping it short and sweet, people online claimed he started talking about other women. The groom's big moment suddenly became overshadowed by Benny's awkward comments, and social media lit up with reactions. One person wrote, "Why would he even bring up other women at his friend's wedding?" Another said, "This isn't cute, it's embarrassing." Someone else added, "If anyone gave a speech like that at mine, I'd lose it." Some thought it was funny. Others thought it was disrespectful, but either way, it stirred a whole new round of gossip. And while the internet was busy debating Benny's speech, Selena was already juggling another issue: Her friendships. One of the biggest talking points right now is her sudden distance from Brooklyn Beckham and his wife, Nicola Peltz. Not long ago, Selena, Brooklyn, and Nicola were practically joined at the hip. They were so close that fans started calling them a throuple. They vacationed together, posted endless cozy photos, and even got matching angel tattoos as a symbol of their bond. Nicola couldn't stop praising Selena, calling her one of her dearest friends, while Selena often joked about their connection like it was family. Selena first met Brooklyn back in 2015 at New York Fashion Week, and their friendship carried on for years. By 2022, the trio was everywhere. They attended events together, traveled together, and gave off the vibe of being their own little Hollywood squad. But somewhere along the line, cracks began to show, and the friendship that once looked unshakable started to fade. Fans are now scrambling to figure out what really went down between Selena Gomez and the Peltz-Beckham couple. Insiders claim Nicola's behavior became a huge issue. According to them, she was obsessed with cameras and constantly turned ordinary hangouts into staged photo shoots. Even simple dinners supposedly became events where everything had to look picture perfect. And if the spotlight wasn't on her, sources say she would shut down, sometimes even turning cold towards Selena. One insider didn't hold back, bluntly saying, "Nicola is very jealous of Selena." That jealousy, people close to the situation say, didn't just affect her friendship with Selena. It even started spilling over into tension with Benny Blanco. When things like that build up, friendships can quickly crumble. Word is, Brooklyn and Nicola's circle has been shrinking because of her behavior. Friends who once hung around them are quietly stepping back, saying it's too much drama to deal with. And instead of pushing back, Brooklyn seems to just go along with it, letting Nicola run the show, even when it ends up costing him friendships. The biggest red flag came recently when Selena didn't attend Brooklyn and Nicola's vow renewal. Considering how close they once were, her absence was loud. To people who remembered them calling each other family, it felt like confirmation that something had snapped. Sure, some optimists argue maybe Selena still checks in privately, but if that were the case, wouldn't she have been there to show support publicly? Most fans believe the bond is broken for good. And yes, the vow renewal itself raised eyebrows. They're still young and not even far into marriage, yet they already felt the need to start over. Fans immediately started whispering that trouble must be brewing behind the scenes. Adding to the tension, when Selena announced her engagement to Benny Blanco, neither Brooklyn nor Nicola congratulated her. The silence was so loud it came across as deliberate. Online, the reaction was brutal. One viral comment bluntly read, "Brooklyn Beckham is in a cult." Another person joked, maybe they didn't want to share Selena anymore. Whether people were being serious or sarcastic, the takeaway was clear. That once inseparable trio is now completely fractured. For a while, people even swore Selena, Nicola, and Brooklyn acted like a throuple. They went everywhere together, shared vacations, and even got tattoos to prove their bond. But now, one fan noted Selena probably isn't close with Brooklyn anymore because he doesn't seem to have friends of his own, just Nicola's group. The small digs kept stacking up. Nicola didn't acknowledge Selena's engagement news at all, which fans took as her way of sending a message. And then there's the matter of the tattoos. Those matching angel tattoos were supposed to represent loyalty and forever friendship. But now, people have noticed Selena's ink looks faint, almost faded, like the friendship itself. Some joked that a quick scrub would erase it. Others weren't laughing, though. They flipped the narrative on Selena, accusing her of being the common link in all these fallouts. One harsh viral comment put it like this: "She looks like Snow White to her fans because of her face, but in reality, she's the problem." Selena herself seemed to touch on the pain when she spoke during a therapist's podcast. She didn't mention names, but she talked about friendships that ended suddenly. Fans didn't need names. They were convinced she was referring to Nicola and Brooklyn. But while that friendship collapsed, Selena has been focusing on her relationship with Benny Blanco. They've been spotted going out on cozy double dates, sometimes with her Only Murders in the Building co-stars. Fans immediately started speculating. Were these just normal dinners, or was there something else to it? The photos showed them eating oysters and giant shrimp, which sparked a whole round of jokes online. In Hollywood, even an ordinary dinner can turn into gossip fodder, with people throwing around words like swinger vibes just because of who's at the table. The bigger takeaway, though, is that Selena's circle looks smaller now than it has in years. Once, she was constantly surrounded by high-profile best friends, but lately more and more of those friendships seem to fade away. Some people pin the blame on Nicola and Brooklyn's diva reputation, while others think Selena herself might be the one pushing people away. After all, this isn't the first time her friendships have crashed. Everyone still remembers the rocky fallout with Francia Raisa, the woman who donated her kidney to Selena. That situation had the internet calling Selena ungrateful when Francia hinted that things between them weren't good anymore. Now, with Brooklyn and Nicola added to the list, fans are asking if it's becoming a pattern. Demi Lovato, Francia, now the Peltz-Beckham. At what point does it stop being bad luck and start being a sign that Selena might be part of the issue? One viral comment summed it up perfectly. If people keep leaving, maybe the problem isn't them. Insiders say Selena has been leaning more and more on Benny, almost using him as her safe place while everything else feels unstable. Some see that as a good thing. She's found someone steady to rely on. Others see it as worrying. Benny keeps talking about marriage and kids, while Selena might still be trying to balance her mental health, her career, and her own dreams. At the same time, sources note she's been pulling back from the spotlight. She's skipped red carpets, cut short appearances, and kept away from major Hollywood events she used to attend. Some believe it's because the stress has become too much, and she's isolating herself. Others think she's pulling back intentionally, clearing space to make a comeback without people around her who drain her energy. Whatever the truth is, one thing is obvious: this wedding is shaping up to be much bigger than a love story. It's turning into a Hollywood saga. The friendships, the health concerns, the endless speculation, everything is building toward that September date. And let's be real, the guest list alone will create headlines. Imagine if Taylor Swift doesn't show. Imagine Brooklyn and Nicola left off the invites. Imagine Benny cracking one wrong joke in his vows. The paparazzi will be there capturing every second, fans will dissect it all, and the internet will spin it into memes and debates. This wedding could become the most talked about love story of the decade, or it could end up remembered as one of Hollywood's messiest disasters. The question now is Selena just being protective of her dream? Or is she burning bridges she might later regret? And once the spotlight gets too bright, will Benny's calm presence be enough to hold everything together? So what do you think? Is this wedding going to be Selena's perfect fairy tale? Or are we watching another Hollywood train wreck in the making? Drop your thoughts below, and if you don't want to miss what happens next, make sure to hit like and subscribe.